Hello, my name is Leonor, and I'm going to demonstrate skill number 2. To start off with, we basically just followed the same video by showing the calls, the edit, the transform. But when we get to the resampling, it basically smooths it as much as we can with using the tool, but then obviously the smooth tool makes it much more crisp. The feed tool basically just gives us the ability to extrude it, but via a different shape. For instance, circle. We wanted a circle extrusion. By doing so, we just did that. Skin basically gives it a outlining skin. For instance, right here, gave it that. So that's good. Reverse basically just gave it, because it kind of inverted the skin is, so by doing the reverse, it gave it the correct topology. Well, not topology, just skin in general. Then we just transformed it. I moved it a little. It's just more of a thing. The merge tool, we basically just wired it down, but we need to fill in the different shapes. For instance, we started off with the cap for the candle. So we obviously just started off with, we started off with the cap. There you go. Blast just basically cuts it. When you go to it, you can cut it by using, yep. Blast, then edit it, then extruded it by just giving it make it look like an actual cap. Smooth just basically smooths it like the other thing. This is all from the video, but nothing was quite different until we get to a different portion. For the candle, we just basically started off with a tube. There you go. It didn't have a cap, so we basically sculpted it, gave it the correct looking of it. It's basically like ZBrush, but in deep. Then we are going to the candle flame. Obviously, we did the basic stuff that we did with the chandelier basic arm, the arm of it. So we did the coal. But the cool thing about this is we did the revolve tool. It's, again, it's like having a vase, starting up with a coal and going around. Yeah. A lot of this stuff has similarities with Maya and ZBrush, like by these things. The lattice box basically gives us the ability to have basically this. It gives us more flexibility in modeling, so that was really cool. Again, similarities. Transform, I just expanded it, and yeah. But by doing so, we connected all to a merge tool, so making it basically one whole item. And by doing so, we did that same thing, merged it with the arm, so we had the ability to copy it. And we did 6 copies. Basically, the 360 divided by money sign NCY is the same thing. NCY is basically 6. So we've revolved it by as many copies as we have. We connected it to the merge tool, which is connected to the ring. I could have done this better, but it was quite different, I believe, in this version. This is the top of the chandelier. There you go. Right there. It's basically the same, just blast, extrusion, transform, edit, polygon extrusion. Like we got the edges and made it as much as we could. This is the cup of it, the cap, sorry. Similar thing to the video. We just capped it and did all that stuff. So yeah, that wasn't quite different from the video, and we basically just combined it all, made that into one merge tool. For here, this is the chain, yes. What we did with this was, we basically made a box, we edited, we transformed it. The only thing different from this version and the last version was this was called cookies. Now it's called boolean. Basically, it does the exact same thing. Actually, it would be better if I showed you this. It basically does the same thing as a cookie, but it's a navigate thing, I guess. We just extruded it as much so we made sure it cut it fully. Bevel, just gave it a little more sheen to it. Transform, brought it all the way to the top. Aside from the light, I just added some more light when they were rendering. Basically, we did the copies. This wasn't that different. We obviously made it 6. We had to remember the 1.58. 158 basically, there you go, was bringing it up to that portion like that. We merged it with the final, the other pieces. So I was merged, then we merged it to merge 5. And the transform was this huge thing. This was the exact same thing from the video, but I believe we did it a different way. Well, we know we did. And from here, we did this portion of the last portion of the video. This was the exact same, follow the rules and all that. And that basically brought us to this point, which we can change all these settings to increase that, increase the chain. Well, thank you so much for listening to me, and have a good day.